welcome to those who just joined. And I think that we are able to start now. So without further ado, I'm not taking any more time, and I'm now leaving the floor to our panelists for their presentation. So see you in a bit and enjoy the presentation. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Alessandra. Thank you for this introduction, and welcome everyone. So as Alessandra said, I'm Grazia Mortarelli, and I'm professor in digital communication management of the master degree in strategic communication. A special thank you to our alumni. So I really thank them because they are no more longer students, but they are practitioners now. And I really thank them because they will share their experience with you. And this testimony is useful for us for explaining you, I think, two key aspects of our master degree in strategic communication. The first aspect concerns the design of our course that is in line with the recent trends and tendencies in the field. As you probably know, or as you will know, strategic communication and communication field is quite complex in the sense that is characterized by different nuances in terms of job roles, in terms of functions, activities. So as you probably have read, the job titles of our alumni are different from each other. So they reflect this complexity, and for sure, I am sure that they help us concretely understand the professional profiles for which our course prepares. So the second aspect concerns the strongly professionalizing and practice-oriented character of our master degree. As probably they will tell you, students are constantly involved in a real project provided by companies and by organizations. So our partner, our organization are also increasingly asking us the CV of students graduated in strategic communication. So this is a good sign. But however, I will leave the floor for a first round table to our guests. So I would like to start with Giulia Mazen. So, and my question for all of you, is to introduce yourself, of course, and explain what is your role now, what are your main activities, so what you do. Thank you so much.
Okay. First of all, ciao a tutti. I'm so glad to be here. I'm Giulia Mason, and I work as a PR and communication specialist at Patrizia Pepe. I don't know if you know the brand. It's an Italian fashion company placed in the affordable luxury segment, which was born in Florence, Italy in 1993. So last year we celebrated the 30 years of activity. In short, my job is quite difficult to explain because it has a lot of multiple aspects that I touch every day. But in short, my job is the coordination of online and offline communication activities with talents, PR agency of countries abroad, PR agency in Italy, and the management of relationships with influencers and stylists for editorial and placement requests. Basically, when you see some girl or boy that you follow on Instagram tagging a brand, this is my job. Then I work on digital and PR project and in organizing events for press, like press days, when we show the press and the influencers the collection that we are going to present in the following days, and that you find in the stores of our shops. Then also events with the press, talents. We manage a lot of shootings. We manage the editorial calendar. So there are also some really hot moments during the year, like the Fashion Week, which I don't know if you know, was the last one was in February this year, last month, where we know there is a whole part of organizing the events, the placements with press, influencers, the guests. We have all the production of the event. I contact the press for the coverage of the event, so the articles you see online and or on the print, like for example in Vogue, Numero. This is all the B-side job that you don't see, but which is a really huge part of this job. and then you have all the organization of the deals with influencers. So it's basically everything you see on Instagram. It's coming from my job and my department, which is the communication department of this company. So I hope I responded to your question.
Oh, yes, for sure. So we can say that yours is from one side a relational job, and from the other side
Yes.
a content-based job, because
Yes.
you need, so to manage specialties, technicalities, and this is
Yes.
quite interesting. Also, I think the variety of activities that you mentioned. So
Yes.
thank you so much.
Thank you.
Giulia Musi, I would like to move to the second Giulia of our event. So Giulia, please, let's introduce yourself. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. First of all, I'm so happy to be here. I'm super attached to the strategic communication course because it's the thing that brought me to my career path. So I'm super happy to share my experience with all of you. So I work for the Accenture consulting firm. It's been 3 years now. So I've started as an intern, and after 6 months, I've started my real role within it. So I'm involved in the automotive industry. So we help just automotive brands, international ones. And I cannot, go too much on details, but I can say to you what are my, tasks for everyday routine. So I manage a team of 5 people right now. And we are involved in the planning of marketing ATL and BTL activities. So we developed strategies for the brand, for the market launch, for the lead generation programs, and all the marketing activities that involves territoriality specifications. So we start with a benchmark about all the territoriality where we can launch a new vehicle, because that's the product that we are launching, and how we can provide specific communication for them. So we analyze Italy, Europe, and LATAM. So we do specific tasks about that. Another important part about my job is what we call internal research. So it's continuous involving research about new trends and new way to apply all the marketing strategies within our industry, and also taking part with other industries and do comparisons, and also find new trends, for example, artificial intelligence applications, machine learning applications, and so on. So that's my main task. That's it for now.
Thank you, Giulia. So from one brand operating the fashion industry to a consultancy company. So Giulia, is only curiosity. So how much demanding and challenging is, so working for an agency? Because, so sometimes, especially when we talk with students, the management of time in an agency is an important task. It is something that we focus on also in the course. So it's all a curiosity if you can add.
Yeah, we have many clients, so we have to manage different tasks at the same time. But we started it at the course. So we have different projects with different teams while we were at IULM. So it's like a continuous of that path.
Okay.
So
great.
that's
Okay.
it.
Thank you so much. Okay.
Professor, sorry, your microphone is muted.
Sorry, we move to Martina.
Yes, hi, hello everyone. My name is Martina, and as Giulia, I'm as well into a consulting group. I'm a social media manager. In some places, I know that social media managers are called strategists, so social media strategists. But here in Ernst & Young, we are a social media manager. And as you may know, consulting groups actually started some years ago this kind of acquisition activity in order to put inside their companies advertising agencies. So this is the reason why, for example, me and also Giulia are into consulting groups, because they started some years ago this activity. So to be able to offer, this kind of service also to their already existing client, because in this case, they are a very huge company, both Accenture and even Ernst & Young. And so with already a lot of clients, and this was actually a plus for them, the acquisition of advertising agencies. And what can I say you about my task? So I'm a strategist, and I would say that I have many responsibilities, but probably the first one, and the thing that I believe is the most important one, is the strategy development, meaning that I am the one who is responsible of creating a comprehensive, we can say, social media strategies that could be aligned with the overall marketing idea and business objectives. So I am the one who is responsible to create a strategy of communication that goes basically and mainly on social media, but at the same time that could be consistent with the other touch point of communication, not always with the other, not just with the other touch point of communication, but also could be consistent with the target audience. So I'm responsible to identify also which could be the relevant platform in order to be performance, and so to obtain the results which are expected from the client. And also to be, we can say, responsible for identify the content and the messages that could really fit the kind of objective that I'm trying to obtain. For example, if it is the launch of a product, I need to maybe we can say define a kind of communication approach that goes on different platforms and identify maybe a different kind of target and as well different kind of communication approaches that could better fit with them. One other, I would say, task that is required for my position is the content planning and also the, we can say, content planning and creation. This doesn't mean that I'm a content creator. I'm far away from this definition. I'm not really, we can say, a master on creating content and videos, but I'm definitely be able, we can say, to identify which could be the best content in order to obtain the results. And so I'm the one who need to identify also maybe based on the platform which could be the perfect fit, and so ensuring sort of ensuring that all the contents could be engaging, relevant, and also tailor-made for the kind of audience that I'm expected to reach. And another things that is expected from my job position, and which is the one that I personally preferred, is the one of the analytics and reporting side, because I'm a very data-driven person, meaning that when you conduct campaigns and advertising campaign, you always have to take into consideration the performance side. So every kind of initiatives that you do has a consequence, and so has a performance that you need to identify, to analyze in order also to understand and to optimize maybe the next campaign and the next strategies for the future. And this is something that sometimes is not considered as much relevant, and I know for sure also for previous experiences, but actually I believe this is something that I'm very passionate about data, but this is just one side, but I believe it's pretty important in my job also to provide an overview and also to define the strategy, because strategies are based on data. So as a consequence, you really need to be able to, we can say, have this hard skill, which is hard, but at the same time soft skill, and so to be able to identify and really give an interpretation to data. So we can say that in my case, my job is based a lot on collaboration among teams, and IULM really helped me in this, because I had the opportunity to experience different teammates within the different course, and so have to deal with different typologies of person, because at the same time here we work exactly as in IULM, as during class groups. So you have to deal with different typologies of team, with different people, so different needs and also personalities, and this is something that you will need to take also always in consideration. And so probably collaboration is one of the key words of my jobs: collaboration with other strategist team, as the digital one, the data lab, or so on, and also the creative team, for example, which I work a lot of time with. I spend a lot of time with them, and that's my, we can say, a wrap up of my
Great,
job.
Martina. So as a professor of digital communication management, your task made me very proud. So it's great. So thank you so much. And it is interesting to see there is something that we underline a lot. It is the importance of data and analytics that I think is crossing like a relevance to all of you. So the importance of starting from results and from data. So thank you so much for having mentioned it. So Last but not least, I think that we can move to Ada. So Ada, please.
Hi, everyone. Hope you're fine. And this is a great opportunity because really strategic communication was a great master degree, in my opinion. So I hope you will gather all the information you need to decide what's for your future. As Grazia was saying before, I am working for Amplifon, and I'm a marketing, media, and a brand media and communication specialist. Which means that I'm in charge for the creation of all contents that are going to our media channels, both online and offline. I'm like working on the other side compared to Martina and Giulia, because I'm the company who is asking for the work to the agency. And what I actually do is a lot of things, but to wrap up, I can say just 3 of them. Mainly I do the content, so content strategies for all the channels, but mainly due to the target. I don't know if you know Amplifon, but we have a quite peculiar target because we are talking with people of 65 plus years old. So we need to communicate a lot on TV. So we are doing contents and content strategies for TV campaigns and the digital ones too, because it's super important to have a coherent strategy above all channels. And so we are creating them with the agency and working day by day to develop and always try to reach the largest audience we can, as we are mainly talking to what we call the leads, so those who are not our clients but potential ones. Secondly, we work then on TV, on digital, but also in stores. Because we have this channel, which is not so common nowadays, because everyone is investing on digital. But we have a lot of stores in Italy, more than 800. So we really need to communicate inside them and be sure that when a person comes from the TV or the digital ad, once he's in the store, he understands what is coming and what he needs to do to take care of his hearing. At least we do monitoring. Monitoring and performances are the basis of our daily job. In Amplifon, we really look at performances minute by minute. So I really agree with Martina that the data are fundamentals to understand what are the next steps. And this was really important for me, having seen in the digital communication strategies in strategic communication, how that works. And how to really understand the data, the digital data I see, and how to change my strategies according to them. So this is what I do in Amplifon, and that's it.
Great, thank you, Ada. I think that we can reverse the chronological, so the order of the speaker, and I can exploit Ada, so that you're the last for starting for the second round table with the second question for you. So thank you for describing your activities. My question is about your path, so your journey, starting from your graduation, and if you could tell us something more about, and if you can also underline, according to your opinion, how the course has been useful for your path. So if there is something that comes to your mind in terms of, I learned this during my master degree, and this was very useful for my journey. So thank you.
Yes, well, I really learned a lot, but I think the best thing was to really see in this master degree different the different type of way communication can be used inside a company. I work with the PR team, the investor relations one. I am the brand one. I am in brand team. So communication really can be declined in different departments. And in the course of strategic communication, I had the opportunity to understand really which are these differences. I'm working as I said before, in the brand team. So studying, having a vertical course about brand strategies and the brand identity, but even brand reputation is super important. It helped me to understand, to understand how to work at the first time with the company, understand the brand, analyzing it, and keep doing my my job at the best, because I knew what the brand was and how to communicate really at the best. But even the digital strategies, the understanding what the data I was seeing about a digital campaign, or building a 360 campaign on TV, on digital strategies, and then in the stores. So always thinking about the whole customer journey helped me a lot, because we have done a lot of group works. And as Martina said before, you really need to be able to work in groups and always understand who is by your side, because we are all different, and you really need to arrive always to a compromise. So even having a group work for each kind of team and course done in strategic communication was really helpful and fundamental.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Ada. Martina, so do you want to add your experience?
Yes, I would say that there are, I believe, some things that really helped me. And I'm saying this because I truly believe in it. First of all, it's something that I also had the opportunity to experience today, because, you know, something that I really appreciated, and I'm honest about it. First of all, I never thought that was something that could be useful for my career path. The fact that during the strategic communication course, I had the opportunity to experience different typologies of communication. So from crisis communication, investor relation, internal communication, external. So in my previous experience, I've always have to deal with the classical, we can say, external communication. So you have a client with a product, and so you have to communicate in a, let's say, traditional way. It's not exactly the best way to say it, but actually now, particularly here in Ernst & Young, I had to deal with the different typologies of clients, which I wasn't exactly used to work with, because before, in my previous experience, I've always worked for automotive brands. While right now I'm actually working for a pretty huge client in the market of oil and gas. So as you can understand, it's not exactly an easy trip, meaning that it's a kind of really we can say hostile environment to communicate, because you know, with the trends of sustainability and the climate change and everything, it's particularly difficult to communicate in this kind of market. And so actually this gave me the opportunity to conduct different kind of communication. So crisis kind of every day, but the fact that is interesting in that is that I realized that not all my colleagues are able to manage and to identify the different typologies of crisis that you can face and how to manage them. I actually really enjoyed the course inside IULM about crisis communication, and this gave me really the ability and the basic knowledge to be able to recognize what kind of crisis I'm facing and how to manage it. So which one is the best way. But for example, also the investor relation class, because today, I make you an example, it was the capital market day for my company. So it means that the company and the representative of the companies, so the CEO and COO, CFO, explain to the stock market the strategies that the business is going to introduce for the next 4 years of activity. So it's a very important day for the company because investor can actually try to understand and identify the potential of the company and decide if it's relevant or not to invest in it. So it was really a very stressful day, I must admit, but actually it was very interesting because we did a course on it, and among my colleagues, we were like 3 or 4 people that knew in the entire company how to manage investor relations side, because it's not exactly something that all the university provide you with this background, because it's not exactly as easy as you may think. It's not a traditional type of communication. You need to be able to understand what investor would like to know, but at the same time be able to provide a kind of basic knowledge also to the citizen, we can say citizen target, so a more generalistic target that knows absolutely nothing about the stock market. And so this is a practical example that I could provide you that happened today. But I would say that also really helped me in, we can say, develop some soft skills, but also hard skill, soft skill adaptability, because there were many courses. And as also Professor Mortelli was saying before, the fact is that you will have also to face different courses with different teams, and so different activities at the same time. And believe me, but this is exactly how the consulting agency world works. So it's really, you need really to be able to identify how to manage your time also, because your time doesn't always, your schedule is not always the same of the others, because you're working with different teams. So adaptability probably is one of the soft skills that really helped me, you can say, develop. And problem solving, I would say also analytic thinking, because every course really gave me the basic knowledge, but not also basic, we can say the knowledge to be able to give an interpretation to everything I'm facing. So they really gave me the path in order to be able to manage different kind of situation. And so in my opinion, it was really, really, really helpful. And I had this huge opportunity, because I consider myself very lucky in terms of opportunities, working opportunity, but to experience the different types of things, also working with influencer, which is not as easy and funny as you may think. It's something really stressful. This is my opinion, but actually we had the opportunity to experience also this in some activities in ULM, when you have to your teammates and organize maybe campaign, the launch of something. And this is exactly the same mechanic as the one that you would have to deal in the daily basis.
Yeah. So probably also for the influencer topic,
Exactly.
we can say this is also at the times for them in terms of issues that we are looking at and managing, So okay, thank you so much, Martina. Very, very exhaustive and interesting your point. Giulia Musi, so we move to Accenture. So something about your path, of course, whatever you want in terms of influence of the strategic communication course. Giulia, we need to turn on the microphone, sorry.
My fault. 2 main things. First, absolutely working in teams with students with all different backgrounds, so with different bachelor degrees, has helped me a lot through my work, because I have to face engineers, product specialists, agency communication strategists. So working in teams for different projects with different students' background has been super, super helpful for me now in my career path. And second thing, I would say, as Ada said, different projects. So dealing with different outcomes that you have to put out at the end of the semesters or the trimesters, different courses. So you have to be focused on one thing and at the same time with another one. So crisis communication, investor relations, and so on, storytelling. So you really face during your course every aspect of all the communication strategies, and that helped me a lot through all my work path.
Okay, great. Thank you. So it's only a curiosity because in your path, the automotive industry that you work in, so you're expected to work in an automotive industry or not? This is only my...
Well, I can explain a little funny story. 4 years ago, during the storytelling course, we creating a storytelling strategies, and our professor asked us to pick from 4 different brands, and one of them was Porsche. So we did a storytelling and content strategy for that. And while I was presenting our project at the class, a friend of mine took a picture and I posted it on Instagram, and I said, me talking about things that I quite don't know. So there was me and a Porsche behind me, and but that's funny because when I arrived and I did my first interview at Accenture, they asked me what are my hobbies or my passions, and I'm super passionate about Formula One. So I just starting to explain that to the HR interviewer, and there was a place available there, and I did the intern with another brand in the automotive, and I fall in love with that, and then I continue that. So, but it's funny because it started with no reason, apparently, in IULM University.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Okay, last, Julia Mazen. So
Yes. No, following what Julia was saying, you never know what's going to happen you, because my path, I would never expect to work in communication or even more to work in fashion, because actually I didn't wanted to do the course in fashion communication, which was like one of the optional one. But I did that because I needed the extra credits, and they said that it was the easiest one. So I said, oh, okay, I don't care, but you know what, let's do it. And then now I'm working in fashion. But yeah, you never know, because when I was in my bachelor degree, I studied international relations and politics. Because I wanted to work in the ONU. And then I didn't know what to do with my life. And by chance, I had the an advertising of IULM. And I said, let's see what's going on. And it was like the strategic communication course. So I started reading it. And I said, you know what, it's kind of interesting. Let's do the test to go to get into. And then they took me and they say, okay, we're gonna move to Milan and do this. And if I look at that, I don't know how I finished up here, because I started working before finishing my exam, actually, because I had like 4 exams left, and I submitted my application to some position without any expectations, basically. Because I already did the field job, the field project, and I didn't need the credits to graduate. So I was perfect in time. But it was just to see what would have happened. And also it was COVID time, because unfortunately I did almost all my 2 years of master's degree at home. And I was in Padua, in my city, and I was applying all over Italy, so I didn't know what to expect, and it was almost just for fun, and I didn't expect anything. And few days later, the HR called me, and I'm here now. And even though it was COVID time, one thing that I certainly learned at IULM, and I apply every day in my job, is the ability to be in a group, because working in communication, you will never be alone. You will always speak with people. You will always have to relate with people that are different from you and from your background. And one thing that helped me IULM with it is this, and to think big, because when you do, or when you will do, when you will enroll in IULM courses, when you will do your group jobs, your group project in IULM, you will not only have to think about the immediate action, but rather about the whole process behind an action, because you will have to analyze the market, propose ideas, rediscuss your ideas, because maybe they are not right, or maybe there's a better outcome that you can have from the starting point, and you will have to predict the future, because and it's this also in your everyday job, because you will have to be proactive and defend your ideas, and this is an aspect that no other university beside ULM allows you to develop. This is something that I certainly developed at ULM, despite the fact that it was in COVID, so it was not easier to do group jobs. But imagine if it did this in COVID time, what it can do in normal time like this one. And I'm definitely not one of those people who was born like self-assured, you know, being self-conscious, and it took me a while to learn my worth and to have the courage to make my ideas heard. But I think that ULM will help you in this and also in public speaking, to express your ideas, to be sure to always see forward. So I suggest you for this 100%.
Thank you so much, Julia. And yes, your class was a really example of resilience and, you know, so also survival from a certain point of view in terms of the results of the master degree. Okay, so thank you for these 2 roundtables. I think, Alessandra, that we can open time for answering to some questions. So let's...
Okay, hi. Hello again, everyone. So first of all, I want to thank Professor Mortarelli for moderating this session, and also everyone for sharing their experiences. So yes, we have a couple of questions. So I would say, let's start with the first one, shall we? So here we have a question for Professor Mortarelli, actually, that says, can Professor Grazia tell us more about the master course?
Yes, for sure. So great. So thank you so much for this question. So as you probably understood by the experience of our graduates, this is a course that will try to educate and train you to become future practitioners in the strategic communication field. So by providing you, we can say, an in-depth analysis and education in the areas or different areas of specialization of communication. So starting from, as you probably know, digital communication management, that is my field, to financial communication. And also this course allow you to work in, we can say, different industries, fashion, pharmaceuticals, digital innovation, as also the experience of our graduates tell us. There is an international vocation that I would like to underline, because we have the dual degree opportunities with the International University. At the moment, we have a dual degree with Huddersfield University and Cardiff Metropolitan University in UK, but we have also a double degree opportunity with UWA University in Australia. So, and there are also more than 15 destinations for what concerns Erasmus program. So it's a course with an international vocation, and can allow you also to, you have the opportunity to, for what concerns the study program. So in order to go more in details about this one, so, and then if there is, we can say, more need of information, we can provide you, but you have a first year where you can learn, you know, so a basic of strategic communication in terms of fundamentals, strategies and management, we say social media, but also artificial intelligence, of course, data analysis and data visualization, organizational behavior and neuromanagement, and the CSR communication. So this is for what concerns the first year. At the second year, you can choose your path, because we have 2 opportunities. You can continue with the course in corporate and marketing communication. So you will have a second year dressed more to explore corporate narrative, so financial, so this was the path that was designed since the beginning. But in the last year, according to the trends, because I told you that our program is aligned with the recent trends in communication, we developed a second year addressed to sustainability communication. So it's a second year that you can choose if you want to work in sustainability field. And I think that is quite interesting. So I hope to have provided more information.
Thank you so much, Professor, for your answer. And on that line, we also have another question by Alice. She says, hi, can you provide information about the enrolling process? What documents do I need to provide? Do I need to have an English proficiency test ready? Thank you.
Okay, I try. So for what concerns the document, for sure we will send you the link with a specific page to our university, because it's quite complicated for me to remind, sorry. For what concerns the English proficiency, we needed to have a certification, and also in this case, you will receive all the information. For what concerns the rolling process, I can provide you with a professor perspective. Maybe it could be interesting to know also some insight from students, but usually we have an oral examination where we test your motivation and also your knowledge based on some readings that you can find on the website concerning strategic communication field. And it is our oral examination that could be, this is for Italian students, sorry. For abroad student and for student applied from international side, there is a written text that is a discussion about a case with the 3 open questions, and also the development of a video recording for providing us your motivation to be selected as a future student of strategic communication. I don't know if some other students remind their tests, but if not, don't worry. So we can leave room for other questions for you.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much, Professor. I just want to remind everyone that in a couple of days, you will receive an email with a recording of the session and also all the relevant contacts so that you can get in touch with the university. So if you have any questions about the enrollment or the scholarships available, feel free to send them a message. Okay, so moving on to the next question. We have some questions for the former students. So I would say, let's read one of those. For example, one of the questions is, did IULM help you find your current job through a job placement department?
I can answer. Yes, of course. IULM has one of the, I think, best ways to help students find career opportunities. You have the career service, which helps you also to write your CV. So they are super helpful, and suggest you to ask for them and like book some appointment with them. Then you have a section on LinkedIn, which is a group which is, if I don't go wrong, it's IULM for Job, where they post like multiple times a day internship, curricular internship, extracurricular internship, and also normal jobs like fixed term jobs, or even like long-term jobs. And then I personally got my internship at Patrizia Pepe, where I work now, 3 years ago through Alma Laurea. Which I know that a lot of people don't use, but I suggest you also to use that. IULM has its own page with all the job position, job openings that companies apply for IULM. So of course IULM helps you, and there are a lot of opportunities just for IULM.
I want to add just one thing about this, because thanks to the group work we did, and with Amplifon, which came to the university for the course of investor relations communication. I got the internship in the company because I actually knew very well the company itself, and that really helped when I did the interview.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much, Giulia and Ada, for your testimonies. So we have some more questions about the master. And one question is, we've heard a lot about positive aspects of the course. Are there any lacking points you had to fill on your own? Anything you feel relevant to students today to be aware of? Also, which course did you attend? Sustainability or corporate communication?
So this is an interesting question. So be honest, totally.
Okay, I can go first, maybe. Probably one of the aspects that, but I believe it's kind of actually normal that we are not going to, to experience into the during courses is the one of, for example, dealing with practical tools or practical, maybe you put action in practice. We can say put the theory into action actually, because for example. In my daily routine, I work a lot with some analytics tool, for example, like Sprinkle or Amplify, and these are tools that you will never go into experience into university, but you will have to deal in the during your job position. But this is actually normal because they are very expensive tools that you will use on a regular basis. But actually, sometimes they are not even. We can say they are not, in my case, for example, the tools I'm using are properties of the client, are not properties of the agency, because most of the time they are really, really expensive. And so just the client can afford to take these tools. And so probably this is one of the aspects that you cannot experience in the course, but from a theory base and a practice side, meaning experience the workflow and how you will have to deliver project is exactly the same. The only thing that I was missing is the practical side on working on the tools, just this. And from the other side of the question, it was the difference, the sustainability in corporate communication. I do not remember that. Maybe
No, you were,
in
so
my
there
previous
was the
experience, exactly,
corporate
there was a
communication
different,
field, yeah.
exactly, corporate communication.
Yes, me too. So I did not choose. We are too old.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much. So we have another question about dual degree. And the question is, okay, maybe we can put together two questions, because one person asks, can you please explain the double degree better? And another question is, some of you did it.
So I don't remind if some of you made a double degree, Giulia.
Yeah, I did it at Huddersfield University, yeah, in 2020. So it was an unfortunate year, but I did it.
Yeah.
Great.
Unfortunately,
So
that was
probably you
COVID.
can provide your experiences. So if you want to say something about.
Yeah, sure. For me, it was a super positive experience. It also added a relevant point on my CV. So they appreciated a lot during the interview, like an international experience in the UK. So it was super positive for my CV. The courses were a lot more practical, even more practical than at IULM. So you have, like, for example, 100% course full based on delivering projects. So the professor will provide you inputs, and then you have to deliberate the output at the end of the trimester. We have a lot of small classes, so there was a lot of talking, a lot of sharing thoughts and brainstorming. So it was super, super helpful. I came back a little bit early because of COVID, but I ended up graduating also from them. We did research for Bentley, so another automotive brand at the end. So I absolutely recommend it. It was super positive for my career, yeah.
Okay,
and the
perfect.
university was really great. The professors, everything, the buildings, how they treated international students. super positive. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much, Julia, for sharing your experience.
Yeah,
And
so sorry, only to add some information because we have at the moment 3 different dual degree, and you will attend, especially in the second part of the second year, because in the second semester of the second year, you will have no courses in IULM because you have the opportunity to do the internship and do the this dual degree program. And each university, we selected the dual degree in order to provide a sort of enrichment and a combination of different paths, so to provide you with a more rich, full double path for your career. So, for instance, in other fields, we have like marketing field. In Australia, we have something similar to our courses. So. And this is something that I think would be interesting to share.
perfect. So thank you both, Julia and Professor Mustarelli, for your answers. And now we have another question for Julia Mazon. And the question is, hi, I hope someday to work in the fashion field, but I don't have any study background about it. So my question is, how relevant do you think to have a fashion background in order to do work in the marketing or communication department of those fashion brands is?
Okay. Hi. Thanks for your question. But first of all, I didn't have any background when I applied. No, I had the one background, which was only the fashion communication course. I don't know if you are in your bachelor degree, but if you apply to strategic communication master course, you can have the opportunity to attend that course as well. But in any case, don't worry. I mean, I basically didn't know anything when I came to work. When you come to work and it's your first day, you are all super afraid that you don't know everything. But then later, when you work, when you think about when you first came here, I mean, we don't know anything, and then you just learn with the time. So if you want to work in fashion and you have the passion about fashion, just show your the HR or your manager that will interview you that you are passionate about fashion, and this will always be the best thing to show.
Thank you, Julia, for your answer. So here we have a question from a foreign perspective student. And the question is Italian language needed to get a job after a master's degree in strategic communication, or English language skills are enough? I suppose this person wants then to develop his career or her career in Italy.
Yeah, so I can answer to your question and try to exploit also another question, because it's connected, related to the network of companies network with companies that we have all over the world, and especially in Italy. We suggest to learn in some way Italian language because it's something that can help you in, we can say, so develop a relationship, exploit all the opportunities and so on. In any case, we have a network of companies that we are exploiting in terms of providing the opportunities to work in English. But again, so my suggestion is in any way to exploit the fact that you are in class with Italian guys to learn a new language. So so English skills are absolutely required, because if you work in any case for a multinational company in Italy, you are required to talk and to work in English. Italian language is suggested. So this is something that I can answer to you. For what concerns our network of companies, the course has been developed in partnership with the larger multinational organization that has the headquarters in Italy or abroad, and they had some branches in Italy. So there is a strong relationship with these companies that we involve during the courses as a testimony for the project work. So I think that also IULM is a university that is quite is a good case for the networking with organizations. So it's a sort of guarantee in this sense.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Professor. And then we have another question, which is, hi, can you tell us more about the master course on neuromarketing?
Okay, so for what concerns the strategic communication, we have a subject. So it's a course that you follow during your path about neuromarketing, neuromanagement, and organizational behavior, of course, applied to communication field. So is an example how the visuals elements could affect your perception about a brand. So there are, of course, neuromanagement techniques and neuromanagement practices and the strategies that you can apply in order to understand what is the best choice in terms of communication. This is a practical example of what you learn during this subject. And it is quite interesting to see because we have also at IULM University, we have a center of research that is addressed to this topic. So you will have the opportunity to exploit really the last researches, the last trends, and the last tools in order to learn how to use neuromanagement in communication field.
Perfect, thank you. And our final question from Danilo, and he says, do you offer scholarship for international students?
Yeah, there are some scholarship for international students. You can find any information. Probably it would be interesting to provide you with a link. We have also some scholarship, for instance, for sporting students. So that could be quite interesting also.
Okay, thank you so much, Professor. We have one last minute question that just arrived. And the question is, girls, can you tell me your overall opinion of working for a single company versus for an agency that must follow different organization projects? And can you tell me the pros and cons and what would you suggest?
Who wants?
I have
Really
only
hard.
no, I don't know what to answer because I have only the side view from the company. And we work with the agencies, but they are the providers. So I don't know how it feels like to work in an agency. I know because I have some friends that I work in some agencies. But I will let them answer. Working in a company is fine. I can tell you that because you have your own projects. Also, from my side, we have a lot of different projects going on. So it's like also working in a little agency. The only thing is that you are your own outcome. So I don't know if the others can answer better this question.
I will just add one thing about working in a company, which for me, but it's very personal, and I want to underline that. Working in a company is super nice because you really work on projects that will be applied in the company you are working for. And so you feel part of something that will stay and will last in the future. So for me, it's super nice because really you have this kind of feeling. But I think that in every job you can find people and teams you can work well with. So it really depends.
From my point of view, I can say that the agency is your own company. So at the end of the day, it's the same relation. So I work for an agency, but it's my company. So, and then I have to work with other clients for other companies. So you can have the both of the world. So you have the double side of it.
I don't know if this can help you, but I'm agency side. I prefer also because I worked before in a TBWA, which is a global worldwide creative agency, and then I came here in UI. But personally, I don't know if this can help you deciding. I was pretty sure about going into the agency because I'm a very dynamic person, and I was not sure which was the market I was confident about, and I didn't know exactly which kind of experience, which brand to experience. So this is something that it really stressed me a lot, meaning that all my friends at the time were pretty sure about what kind of market to go. I don't know, fashion or automotive and so on, and I wasn't sure at all. And so I decided to go to the agency because I wanted to experience different typologies of brand and market, and so be able to, kind of decide at the end of my or in the middle of my career path, maybe after experiences different typologies of market, which will be also the one who I prefer and enjoy most of my time. So I have experienced many markets, but I can tell you that I love to stay in the agency, meaning that this dynamic and stressful state, continuous status, but this is something I personally love about it. And as Julia said, at the end of the day, we are still companies, so exactly the kind of approach is the same. You're not talking to project for the same brand, maybe you have project for different brands, but this is in my opinion a kind of way to stay always open-minded and have to put your head in and also hands in action into different markets. So I don't know if this can help you deciding.
Okay, thank you so much, everyone, for sharing your opinions and your experiences. We have one last question from spectator. So we were talking about the internships before and the possibility that you accessed through you. And this person wants to know if you ever got a chance to actually work within the university, so to get an internship with you. Did any of you?
I didn't.
Okay, perfect. So I think that was our final question. So again, I want to thank all of you for being part of this webinar and for sharing your experiences. And also I want to thank all the people that decided to join us and also thank them for all of their questions. So before we say goodbye, I would like to ask you girls if you would like to share a little bit of, I don't know, a little piece of advice to our spectators or just a final message.
Just to be curious, because really you have the chance to see a lot of things at the uni, learn a lot. And it's something I'm kind of missing. And really, if you keep your mind open and you are curious about things that are going on around you, you really can go in the company or the agency or whatever workplace you really like.
I can go next, and I can tell you that personally, university, this is my experience, but it was the best time of my life, not just because I had the opportunity to start it's right now my career path, and so job opportunity and so on, but also because I have the occasion to meet the ones that are actually my best friends nowadays, and also have the occasion to create me a network of people that I'm actually seeing right now in the world of agency. People change company, but actually we are always the same. And so thanks to university, I also had the occasion to meet a lot of different person that I'm now facing, and I'm now also meeting in different occasion, maybe because they are working for clients and so they became the client, maybe because they, I don't know, became a third side agency I work with. And so really it's an occasion also for you to enter in contact with different typologies of person and start to, you know, do this action of networking, because in the world of work, networking, I believe it's essential. So, you know, be curious, as also Ada was saying, but at the same time, don't be shy. So believe me, start knowing people inside IULM, not just the person that is on the right, on the left of the on the right of the or the left, but even people from other courses, because you know, this is always something positive and really useful for the future.
Yes, and don't be shy. I think it's the best advice you can get. I mean, don't be afraid to speak with everyone. When it's the time to present your group presentation, don't be like I was the one saying, "Oh no, you do that," because I never wanted to speak. But if I could go back, I would say, yes, please make me speak, because then you will always have to speak with everyone. You will always have to present your idea. You will always have to make people believe you know what you are saying. And yes, IULM in this helps you a lot to grow personally and professionally. So exploit everything you can exploit. Don't be afraid, and enjoy your best days, because I know that we all want to. Like I remember saying, "Oh no, I want to be independent and go to work." And now I'm like 26, and I'm saying, "How did I get to 26?" And it feels like I'm 50. So enjoy your days and have fun, and go to IULM parties as well, because they are fun.
And I will add just a little thing: learn from the people around you, because really IULM has students from very different backgrounds. So listen to them and share with them all of your ideas, and listen to their ideas, because it's a super international program, and people from different background and bachelors. So learn from them and listen to them. That's it.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much, girls, for your words. I'm very sure they will be helpful for the people watching us. And you see, you were shy at first, but some wisdom came out of your words. So without further ado, I think that we are done with our time. I want to thank you again for sharing your experiences and for this wonderful roundtable. And I want to thank the people that have decided to join us today for being with us. So I hope to see you again at the next webinar organized by Docsity in the future. And in the meantime, I want to remind everyone interested in receiving a certificate of attendance by Docsity that they can do so by clicking on the link that I just sent on the chat and request it. And we're done. So thank you for being with us, and I wish you a nice rest of the day. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you.